some of us aren't meant for this time. Like, yes, we are all here for a reason, and yes, our purpose is clear on what we need to do. Sometimes it just feels as if we aren't in the right place. This is why Fry from Futurama, he was transported to the year 3000 compared to living in 2000 because he had more value and things to offer to the people that were alive in the year 3000. We can see this happen throughout the whole series in the story with like Nippler being able to be the one that was forced him to go into the year 3000 because they knew that he would be the one that would transform everybody's lives in the year 3000. So we ourselves are the exact same. Right now it might not feel like we're in the right place or we're doing the right things. From what I can see and say, there will be outside forces that will help us get to the direction that we need to get to that will kind of be outside of our control. Because in the original very first episode, we were under the impression that Fry just fell back into the time capsule and was frozen just because he was leaning back too far in his chair. When we go back and look at other episodes later in the series, we find out that Nippler and him travel back in time and like he stops him from falling, whereas this like, I don't want to be frozen, I want to stay in the year 2000. But when he does that, his life doesn't turn out in the same exciting way that it does when he goes to the year 3000. He wouldn't have found the friends, he wouldn't have found the connections, he wouldn't have found the people that he has in his life now if he would have stayed in the year 2000. Sometimes this is something that I struggle with, and maybe you struggle with it as well too, is like trying to figure out where we need to go, trying to figure out the next place, the next destination, or just like what we're supposed to do with our lives. And I think sometimes, at least from what I've been able to see, is certain people, certain situations, certain aspects will happen to help us get to the place where we need to get to, even if it is sad, even if it is painful. But when we look back, Fry, he realized that he didn't have anything really in the year 2000. So it's just like, why stay there? Why be in a place where there isn't anything that's really bringing him any sort of value when he could be frozen to the year 3000, and then he can find his great-great-grandpa, he can find Bender, he can find Layla, the person who he loves and eventually ends up marrying, and then they get to go through the whole cycle over and over and over again. So it is one of those things where everything's cyclical. It's an infinite world. It's an infinite game. It's something that everything will go in the direct places that it needs to go to, just to make sure that we are the ones that are achieving our life purpose, our life goal, our definitive life purpose. And a book I'd recommend is The Alchemist. I think I might have talked about that in a couple of other videos a little bit ago. All I can say is like certain things, people, situations will push us towards the direction that we need to go to. The life force, everything will compel us in the direction where we're supposed to go. Even if it doesn't feel like it at the time, it does pay off. And the reason why we run into certain people or situations is because it's helping us get closer to our goal and or realizing what we were meant to do when we came to this world outside of our normal like everyday life, because we're built for greatness. We have greatness within us, and it's a matter of making it happen through trials, tribulations, successes, failures, love, heartbreak, and anything else that may come up down our path. Otherwise, yeah. So just something to consider. If you don't feel like you're in the right place, you're exactly where you need to be, and things are going to be working out in more ways than you ever could imagine.